Hey guys, so today you and I are going to talk about investments and the fear of becoming redundant. So let's get into it. So the question in question here was kind of long, but I'll see if I can dilute it down or derive the most meaningful part of it, which was basically, Frederick, is it true that programmers sometimes worry that they invest time and effort in learning a language, and that language will then become replaced by other languages, basically? So let's get into that. So this is a great question because it kind of touches on this. It's a special case, I would say, for programming languages, but it affects every industry. I mean, are robots replacing the world's labor forces with automated solutions? Will doctors become redundant? Will computers start writing their own software and programmers will be replaced? Everybody is afraid of this phenomenon where they will be shuffled out into a position where they don't have a viable strategy anymore for maintaining like their relevancy in the workforce and basically their source of income. And when it comes to programmers and programming languages, that is no exception. But I think that there is something that I have started to identify a little bit here. So the answer to this question is absolutely yes. There are plenty of people who are very afraid of that the language that they learn is going to become redundant, and I find this proof basically in the fact that the content that is produced regarding this versus this, or is this going to replace that, it has people on both sides, and it's a very hot topic for a lot of people. Like, there's a lot of interest overall whenever somebody states something like that. And this is something that I have with me quite a lot. Like, usually I have this notion where I say that some content, regardless, like I try to just make content regardless of what it is, just based on what people ask and what people want to know about. But I can almost feel when a topic is going to be more popular, and this little video of mine is going to get almost 2 or 3 times the views just because of what the title says. So if I state something in my title like, oh, how to get rich with programming fast or something like that, that will immediately, just magically, I don't know how, convert into twice as many views. And the same thing goes if I state something like, is Go replacing Java? That will also bring a lot more attention because a lot of people are very afraid. They are very afraid of this. And a lot of people are trying to, who are also, it's not just fear, it's about you are right now trying to learn a programming language and you want to feel sure that the investment that you are making is into the correct language so that you get the highest level of relevancy and the highest value on the job market. Now, the thing that is, though, that the people who most of the time talk to me about this fear of becoming redundant, or like this fear of losing their language to another language, and the ones who deny it the hardest when it's actually kind of happening already, are usually the people that I would myself consider to either be very junior, like they have a fairly low level of programming skill, or people who've been working for a long time but aren't really that I would consider professional programmers. Just let me explain. You see, the thing is, guys, if you invest most of your time, or if not all your time, even if you've worked for 10 years and the only thing that you've been working with, which I've actually talked to people like this, in front end, it's been jQuery, where people have invested like all of their time. They've been paid to write software in jQuery for 10 years. These are the sorts of people who usually reach out and explain that, oh, now the marketplace has changed, and they're kind of afraid of that change because now they're becoming redundant. And the same thing goes for programming languages with people who are fairly junior. Now, the thing here is that there's a red thread here. And that red thread that I've noticed is that this never happens when I talk with a true professional, a real professional programmer. I have coworkers who have worked with .NET their entire career, and they're not afraid. Like, they were like at my work right now, we have a guy, he just switched immediately. He's been working with .NET for like almost 10 years, And now he just decided that, no, I'm going to do something else. And now he's doing Scala. Other guy did Python development for about 15 years, I think, and now he's doing Scala as well. No problem changing there. He wasn't really afraid of it. And that's the thing that I've noticed. The people who are scared of change or having one language replace another language are either the people who aren't really good at what they do. Like they are not professional programmers. They are people who learned this one thing and they're probably kind of, I'm not saying bad programmers, but I'm saying that they are not the sort of people who feel confident enough in their skills, or that they feel unwilling, or there's some problem with them just switching from one language to another, which is what a professional does. Like a true professional doesn't give a shit about the language. A true professional is a software developer who can basically learn and pick up whatever language is needed. So having one thing switch and change and you becoming redundant in one area doesn't really matter all that much, because these people already know that it's very likely that the next job they get might be in a different language. So basically that's the trend I see. It's usually not a problem for professionals if a language comes along and becomes really popular, apart from maybe if they don't actually want to learn it for some reason. But there's not really fear. I've never met fear from a professional programmer. Only from people that I call like either amateur programmers or beginner programmers, or people who write some basic code, not the real professionals. I've never talked to one that was really afraid of this change for the reason that they will become redundant and not be able to get a job. There are other reasons why people are scared of certain languages taking over, but that has more to do with politics and their personal opinions about certain languages and practices. So what I want you to take away from this is that it's absolutely true that a lot of programmers are afraid that investing into a specific language or a tool or something like that is that becoming replaced by something else. It's something that a lot of people are afraid of. But it seems to me that the people who are afraid of this are usually either the amateurs or the really, really junior ones, because junior programmers, I mean, they're learning something for the first time. So of course they want to make the best investment possible at that time. And then you have, of course, the people who have quite a few years in the industry, but they are not really professionals. They've just worked in one specific, very niched way or something like that. And they know that without this specific language or this specific tool, they're going to be in deep water, because like they don't have confidence in their core skills. They don't have enough confidence to feel that they can just transfer that knowledge into a new platform or a new language. And a true professional, they're not afraid of this, because they've already done it most likely more than a few times. I have worked with people who worked for, like one of my oldest coworkers, he's been working for over 30 years. Started as a C programmer, went into C++, then he became a PHP developer, and today he does Java. He's not scared because he's a real professional. Have a great day.